gold was the best idea in the 19th century. But gold is defective money, and it's defective money for three obvious reasons. One, it's not conservative. They keep doubling the supply every 35 years. So the gold miners keep diluting the value. Two, it's not possible to self-custody the gold. You can't take custody of $1 million of your own gold. It turns out that you have to trust it to a bank or a counterparty. And that for that reason, it invites violence, it invites criminality, but also, it forces you to trust it to a bank. And then because the counterparty has it, they tend to create 100 ounces of paper gold for every 1 ounce of real gold, and they keep diluting the value by rehypothecating it. So gold's not going to serve as the base of 21st century sound money. It just isn't fast enough. You can't teleport it, you can't self-custody it, and it's not scarce.
If there is more Bitcoins held with these third-party custodians, what risk does that pose, having greater supply held by fewer large institutions? Does that increase the risk of seizure and confiscation like we've seen with gold? And is that not exactly what Bitcoiners don't want to happen?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think that when the Bitcoin is held by a bunch of crypto anarchists who aren't regulated entities, who don't acknowledge government or don't acknowledge taxes or don't acknowledge reporting requirements, that increases the risk of seizure. You have an OG crypto community that's very hardcore about it, but if you look at where all the money is, 99.9% of the money is actually in the traditional economy.
If you consider the Great Depression, I mean, people thought that their gold was safe in banks until the Executive Order of 1933. So we're not entirely safe. I mean, I know that's kind of a wild thing to suggest may happen again, but history does repeat itself. So people's Bitcoin wouldn't be entirely safe. It's
people say that, but mostly it's paranoid crypto anarchists that say that. Okay? Because it's a myth and a trope that goes on over and over again. But first of all, he didn't really seize the gold. People voluntarily turned in the gold. They didn't go and kick in everybody's door, arrest them, shoot them, and take their gold. That never happened. Is the United States on the Bitcoin standard?
Maybe we will be soon.
But the point really is we're not. Right? It's totally not a reasonable comparison.
So you can see those recent Saylor comments where he's talking about that people who want to self-custody their Bitcoin, they're just extremists. That ruffled a lot of feathers around the crypto space. As you can see some comments here from some names in the space, Jack Mahler's saying calling self-custody crypto anarchism oversimplifies what Bitcoin accomplishes. It's about freedom of speech, property rights, and protecting your right to own what's yours. And Jameson Lopp and Vitalik Buterin also voicing their disapproval of what Saylor just said in that clip that you just watched. And the initial clip was a couple of years ago when Saylor first got into the space, and you can kind of see how he's changing his tune. But he did come back with a tweet on Twitter here, and he says, I support self-custody for those willing and able, the right to self-custody for all, and freedom to choose the form of custody and custodians for individuals and institutions globally. Bitcoin benefits from all forms of investment by all types of entities and should welcome everyone. So as you can see, Saylor's viewpoints may have changed a little bit, but he does understand that self-custody is one of the key facts of what makes Bitcoin so powerful. Anybody in the world can hold Bitcoin and nobody can take it away from you. And one of the reasons why Saylor may have changed his tune here is maybe because of this. 2 years ago, Saylor was sued by Washington, D.C.'s AG for tax fraud. And in the filed complaint, they cited a podcast clip as evidence where Saylor referenced losing Bitcoin in a boating accident. And this clip actually went pretty viral. This is where he's talking about if they try to come in, tax your Bitcoin, he can just say, you can go F yourself to the government. He actually got a lawsuit over that. So maybe he's just changing his tune to please the right people, please the government, because MicroStrategy is the biggest institution that holds Bitcoin right now in the world. And I'm sure Saylor doesn't want to get in any legal battles with the SEC, the CFTC, or any type of government interference. But yeah, we're going to be getting into some big MSTR news that's coming soon, some recent Bitcoin news. Make sure to like, subscribe. We have new Bitcoin MicroStrategy crypto videos coming out every single day. Appreciate you guys. watching all of our videos. And as you can see right here, we have some pretty big catalysts for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy on the horizon. At the end of the month, we have the MicroStrategy earnings, U.S. elections coming up. The winner of the election, whether it's Trump or Kamala, it really doesn't matter for Bitcoin in my personal opinion, but I think if Trump gets in, it would definitely be more bullish for Bitcoin. I think we'll see higher prices for Bitcoin over the next year. My personal opinion, you guys can feel free to disagree with me in the comment section. We have the November Fed meeting on the 7th. Date that we're missing here, I believe, is on the 1st. We have the jobs numbers. I think that's a key date to watch out for there as well. We have the MSTR quarterly view earning balance, QQQ rank day. This is a big day here. This is when MicroStrategy is ranked to potentially get included in the NASDAQ. And you can see right here, it has to be in the top 75 for the NASDAQ 100 tracker here. Shout out to Ben Workman for making this. You can follow him over on Twitter. But you can see right here, we're currently at number 75. It has been kind of playing around here between 80 to 75. But we're just in the top 75. So we need to have a good November so MicroStrategy doesn't fall down, get out of that top 75, and not get that inclusion in the NASDAQ. And this would actually be really big for MicroStrategy. It's getting a lot more cash flows coming into the company, and that's just going to allow Saylor to buy more Bitcoin there. And then the December Fed meeting. And I think really with all these Fed meetings, we also really need to pay attention to the jobs numbers. The jobs numbers, if we continue to see layoffs and unemployment numbers going up, that could cause the market to sell off. That could cause a lot of recession fears. That is one thing that we are paying close attention to, and November 1st is the next date for that. We looked at October 4th, and after the job numbers came out positive, we thought that October was going to be very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto, and it has been. So we're going to be watching November 1st very, very closely. We have the QQQ addition and deletion announcement on the 13th of December, QQQ rebalance on the 20th. January 17th, 2025, historical OI expiration on the 17th of January. New president next year, January 20th. Fed meeting is 29th. Then we have MicroStrategy Q4 earnings. Some more things down here. And then we have that last FASB window. So once this happens, once we see MicroStrategy opt into that FASB accounting method, this could really change the way people see MicroStrategy, because it actually is going to change their financials, and all the Bitcoin on their balance sheet is going to be showed as potential profit. So when that happens, we could see a lot of FOMO. And I think the everyday investor or just the everyday person doesn't understand what this FASB accounting treatment is going to do for MicroStrategy. It actually incentivizes you to hold Bitcoin versus the current accounting standards. So I think that is going to be something big to watch out for next year. And this is really interesting to think about here. This is the Bitcoin spot ETFs. 1,179 institutions have joined Bitcoin's cap table this year. So just a lot of institutions getting into Bitcoin, holding BTC through that spot ETF. A lot of these are definitely going to be going through that BlackRock spot ETF. But a lot of people, when the initial ETFs came out back in January, they were saying MicroStrategy is going to sell off. MicroStrategy stocks going to do very bad. But I think the opposite kind of happened here. When these ETFs launched, they really caused Bitcoin's price to spike up. We saw massive inflows when they initially launched, and we've continued to see massive inflows. And that's actually helped MicroStrategy because it's helped the price of BTC. And as the ETFs help the price of Bitcoin go up, the price of Bitcoin going up helped MicroStrategy's price go up, which allowed MicroStrategy to then go and lever more money to buy more Bitcoin because their stock price was elevated. So it's really interesting. They have that infinite money glitch, but we can see a lot of institutions have a really big interest in putting Bitcoin on the balance sheet. So 2025 is going to be really, really exciting for Bitcoin holders as long as the macro environment stays up, and it's looking like interest rates are going to continue to come down. Inflation's not going to go up, and I think we're going to go into a soft landing. I think that's going to be great for BTC. So let me know what you guys think about all that in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about MicroStrategy. Are you buying more right now? Let me know what you guys are doing in the comment section below. But thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. My name is Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.